From Burnie in northern Tasmania to Rowville in southeastern Melbourne and Killara in North Sydney, the message I heard was consistent and clear. Australians cannot afford another 3 years of Labor. Across the country, people are being let down by a government with the wrong priorities and no plan to restore prosperity. Too many Australians I meet feel there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Now, the Coalition set 3 tests for this budget, reflecting our priorities if we were in government. The first, to restore our standard of living and to get inflation down sustainably. Second, restore a pathway to prosperity and hope for all Australians, particularly when it comes to small business and owning a home. And third, restore budget discipline and honesty. The budget, again, like previous budgets, failed these tests and in doing so failed Australians. And we just heard that Australians agree that it failed that test. For fatigued Australian families, it was another demonstration of a government preoccupied with its priorities, not the concerns of Australian families. This was a budget for re-election, not for the future of our great nation. We see this in the collapsing living standards and the corrosive impact of long-running inflation in this country. Indeed, living standards have collapsed by 7.9% under Labor, and on Labor's own plans, they won't recover until the end of the decade, a lost decade for hard-working Australians. The collapse is the worst on record and worse than any peer country. On average, prices are 11% higher and still going up, and for working families, living costs have risen by closer to 20%. History tells us that inflation has a nasty habit of resurging. Real wages have fallen over the last 3 years and are not expected to recover to 2020 levels until 2032. At the same time, Australia has experienced the longest per capita recession on record. Families are struggling in ways they have never struggled before. We see a record number of Australians working multiple jobs, digging deep into their savings and cutting back on non-essentials and even essentials in some cases. The conclusion is simple and stark. Australians are poorer under Labor. Food banks are overwhelmed and demand on their services is increasing, not falling. Families with mortgages, 2 incomes and 2 cars are now found queuing at food banks. This is the face of Labor's economy. In Peter Dutton's budget reply, the Coalition committed to deliver $50 million over 4 years for food charities like Food Bank, Second Bite, OzHarvest, to expand their services. This is a necessary investment because we are facing an ongoing crisis. The great Australian dream of seeking to own a home or start a business is fading for many. Inflation, interest rates, rising taxes are making opportunities seem like a foreign concept. Stubborn inflation has seen interest rates go up 12 times and down just once under Labor. Indeed, a typical family with a mortgage has paid out $50,000 they weren't expecting to pay just 3 years ago, turning a dream into a nightmare.